Okay, hello and welcome to this weekend's weather video. It is a holiday weekend, um, and we do have some small storms that we have to watch for. There's been some moderation in the temperatures this week, though it hasn't been all that much warmer. So we've gotten a little bit of melting done, but not that much. A little bit. This is a satellite image from earlier today, and you can see some scattered clouds around. More off to the west, there was a decent amount of sunshine across Long Island today. We only had some patchy clouds. It wasn't too bad. It was definitely a little bit better than I was expecting, actually. Um, Looking at our current satellite, you can see we do have a mix of some high clouds over us, and so we'll have to see how this all pans out for tomorrow. Um, Going over our current conditions right now, not a whole lot going on across the country. It's quiet for once. And we've got temperatures around 28 degrees. Sure, the alley is warmer. I haven't looked at it, but it's probably like 35. Let me look at it. Let me see. 35. Yep. So, yep, 35 in the alley. But luckily, we've got the northwest wind, so that it means no furnace exhaust. 28 at Farmingdale. We got up to 36 today at Farmingdale. So we got temperatures generally in the 20s with that wind. We probably won't see any radiational cooling tonight, but highs were in the mid 30s today. We did make it above freezing. Same for Jersey. Last night got down to 27, so got a little bit below freezing at night. Looking at our climate statistics for today, at Islip, high of 35 and a low of 25. High was still 5 degrees below normal. The low of 25 is right at normal. That still puts us 3 degrees below normal for the day. Now, yesterday turned out to be a little bit warmer. Yesterday was a lot warmer, actually. Today did feel chilly in comparison. Yesterday, the high was 42, and the low was 31. We are actually 5 degrees above normal yesterday. So it was our first above normal day that we've had in a while. Yeah, a welcome change, and I think we got some more melting done yesterday versus today, because today definitely felt chillier between the windy conditions and, not damaging wind, but it was enough to make it feel chilly out there. With gusts, let's see what the Islip gusted up to today, 32. So gusts to around 30 miles an hour. It felt, kind of chilly out there. Looking at the weather map here, we've got a little trough sinking through, so that's probably what's causing the cloudiness. And we'll go to the drought monitor next. So this is something that we'll bring up here. This comes out every Thursday, and occasionally I bring it up here. And you can see here Long Island, Suffolk County in a D0, which is abnormally dry. But you notice a moderate drought for western Suffolk and Nassau County, extreme western Suffolk, Nassau, New York City into central Jersey. Ocean County and the Jersey Shore is just in D0. But even though we have the snow on the ground, the snowpack hasn't been melting. So once it melts, maybe these numbers will change. But it's still, when we look at the amount of precipitation we've had, hasn't really been all that much. If we look right now at the amount of precipitation we've had so far this month, here we are, February 12th. Islip's only gotten 0.07 inches of precipitation, when normally it should be 120. So we're 1.20. So it's still below normal, below what it should be. And that is something that that's why we need some rain, especially some rainstorms. It will help wash the snow away, but right now that's looking rather unlikely. Let's pan to the larger satellite image view. And you'll see here just relatively quiet pattern, but you do see the flow over the east being from the northwest. So the ridges, you can see how the ridges over here generally. So let me draw this out. Change this to red. And this is your ridge right here. So your ridge is kind of like this. So maybe not the smoothest, but this is where the center of the warmth is. So we're not in the center of it. We're in the periphery. So we're still getting some of these modified polar air masses, which are keeping the temperatures down a little bit. Let's go to the models here. And I got two of these in here. I got two of them. Okay, oops. That happens, I guess. So let's go to the European model here. You see there's a high pressure that's building in for tomorrow. Tomorrow should feature more sunshine, hopefully, but still a chilly feel with that northwest flow. And then as we get toward the overnight, there's a little clipper, a very weak clipper that moves through Friday night into Saturday morning. Sorry if I sound a little funny. I've had dental work done. I've unfortunately chipped a tooth. So kind of had to do a lot of work there. I'm still a little numb from it. But you'll see here that if you can tell, I sound different. I don't know. It just feels like my mouth feels different. But you can see that little impulse there. And then the rest of Saturday should be nice and milder. So for Valentine's Day, it should feature hopefully a decent amount of sunshine. And then we have to watch this system here in the south for Sunday. It brushes us. It brushes the southern part of Jersey because the air is warm. It's showing up as rain. So this would be an overnight, probably Sunday night into Monday morning thing. And then that finally slowly moves away by Monday, which is President's Day and a holiday. But you'll notice we'll have an easterly flow, which will probably tend to keep clouds around for that day, according to what the European is showing at this point. And I don't think we have a big difference here. We'll go to the GFS here. Pretty similar. So it does not look like right now that we would see any precipitation from this system on Long Island, but maybe just to the south there could be some. Let's go to the icon as well. Icon brings it up a little further to the north. So we'll have to watch for that possible extension of precipitation. The icon does seem to bring it in. I'll probably have to, if it looks like we'll have an impact from this, I'll have to do another video on Sunday night. But that's right now. That's what all three major models are showing. I can go to the AI European as well. So the AI European, and it does take it further north and brush us with some light precipitation. And the AI is tending to be a little more of a storm here. AI GFS is definitely much flatter. So we have a difference of opinion in these models at this point. But right now I'm still tending to think that it stays south. We'll go ahead and we'll look more at the short range here, the HRRR, and we're going to first go to the dew points and wind flow, which will kind of show us where air is coming from. So tomorrow we got the light northwest winds tonight, and then during the day tomorrow we're still staying with a northwest wind, but you'll notice it starts becoming westerly, and that means that we start seeing a moderation as we get toward tomorrow night, with more of a west wind, and it might even go a little west-south. Well, I don't like those angles because that means I might have to deal with the furnace exhaust again, but we all know, I told you the last time that next time it happens I'm going to be calling the fire department, so that should be interesting. But that's what I was told to do by the village at this point. And then you'll see that the wind started becoming a little more, but you'll notice that more westerly flow. And that more westerly flow means milder air, basically, which is good news for most, except for me, which means I can't. I'm choking on furnace exhaust. So that's, But anyway, tonight the lows probably won't get that low, probably mid-20s at the most, I think. And then tomorrow we'll have highs in the mid to upper 30s, maybe close to 40 if you're a little further down on the Jersey shore. So close to average, seasonably chilly. And then tomorrow night, the temperatures will drop, but it's not showing a huge drop because we're going to have clouds increasing. So no radiational cooling tomorrow night probably, because we're going to get to that in a moment here. And then for Saturday, that's when we really warm up. Mid-40s for Jersey and probably low 40s for at least for Long Island. So it'll be a lot warmer, and we'll get some more melting done. So let's look at some soundings for tomorrow. I'll pick 17Z. I'll put the thing over Long Island and let's see what we've got. Do have a little bit of mid-level moisture showing up here. So there could be some mid-level clouds in around the middle of the day. Jersey, a little less in the way of mid-level clouds. I think the mid-level clouds tend to clear out later in the day. So still showing them over Long Island here, even in the afternoon. New Jersey, showing them a little bit as well, but not as much. But you see that line, that mid-level moisture that we might have, which might probably won't be completely clear. There'll probably be some clouds in the mix, but more sun, I think, especially for areas to the west compared to today, I think. will definitely be better. But as we go into the nighttime, I'll keep the HRRR on. You'll see we will cloud up. The cloud, you see the moisture, the mid-level. Still kind of curious if we could eke out a little bit of radiational cooling with that, but I think the clouds, pretty much move in and we get overcast. So I don't think there'd be much because we do have this little impulse moving through. So let's go look at the radar simulation and we'll show you. So we're good tomorrow, dry, but then you'll see what happens overnight, late Saturday night, late Friday night into Saturday morning. You'll see this area of light snow move over us. It's probably not going to amount to much. It's not only going to last an hour or two, but it could make things slippery, put a little coating down, I think. I don't think anyone's going to see much more than that. Whatever falls will melt as we get towards Saturday. After we get done with that, that's when we got to worry about our next system, which would be, again, that Sunday night into Monday system. I don't think any of our small models, here's the NAM, by the way. I don't think any of our small models really go out, our short-range models go out there. The NAM 12 sort of does. So here's the NAM 12, and you can see it does. It keeps it mainly to the south, and it's very light. It's very wet. I don't really see it accumulating much. We'll go ahead and we'll look at the total snowfall on this. And this is from the first system, I think. Some of that's from the second system, but mostly it's from the first. And you can see it's basically less than an inch, so coating basically. And I'm sure the HRRR would have that as well as just a coating. So here's the HRRR, and you can see it's just one area where it could get close to an inch. I'm not really buying that. I don't think it's going to be all that much, personally. Let's do the HDRPS. That'll be the next model we can use for this next. Don't have the 0Z running, but we can look at the other one. See, it's similar. Yeah, very little in the way. This is 318Z Saturday. All right. But let's go to the icon, which is showing that most northward drift on that storm. And, it's not even showing much snowfall, even from that storm. It's showing like a coating. So, because there's just no cold air, and the precipitation is not going to be that heavy. So, if we look at this, we would look at total total accumulated precip as far as liquid goes from that storm, and you can see that most of that's still falling to the south, even on the icon, which kind of tries to pull it a little further to the north. It's still not really. It could be rain, but mostly rain. I'm thinking with this system. Like I said, if anything changes, I'll have to update that. But right now, there are no impacts for Long Island from it. I'm not going to make another update on this. So let's go to the. I don't think the AI European gives us. All right, it does. So this is the total AI European now. Really got a strange look to it, but you can see where the heavier precipitation would be from this. This is not snowfall, all right? But I do want to just run this just to kind of show that the AI European could give us a snowfall. That's the only model that's doing it, and it's kind of been doing it rather consistently. I don't like AI. I don't like using AI, but I'm just bringing this up. This is not an operational run. If we look at the regular operational run, it looks nothing like this, as you see. So, but it's interesting that the AI model keeps doing that. And you can see that the 540 line right over here. So anything north of that 540 line could be snow. But right now, I'm not too concerned about this system. I think it will be weaker, and I think it will be mostly a rain event for whoever is affected by it at this point. So let's go to the RGEM and look at skies. I will look at one other model, the windy.com model, when we're done. But let's go look at skies on the RGEM here. And this goes out as far as President's Day, and that's it, I think. Don't have the full, I guess we do have the full in there. So for tomorrow, it's showing some high clouds in the morning, but other than that, it's not really showing much in the way of clouds. There's another little area of clouds in the afternoon, and then Saturday, it's showing sunshine, but then there could be clouds developing later, perhaps. Some pop-up clouds there. And then Sunday, you can see that system staying off to the south. And actually, the RGEM really suppresses this thing and gives us a lot of sunshine, actually, for at least the early part of the day, which is kind of interesting. So that's the RGEM's take on this system that we have. It's really keeping it very far to the south. GFS not doing that, not keeping it that far to the south. Of course, GFS is a lower resolution model, and I don't have enough of it in on the latest run of the higher resolution GFS version. So let's go to windy.com, and we'll take a look at windy.com, and we'll see what this says. Pull this a little closer, and we'll see what this says as far as that system for. So if we go and look at the clouds, the cloud shield on this, you see that, again, it has basically thinner clouds over us on Sunday. And the thicker cloud, you can kind of see where the precipitation, this is the European, kind of keeps it off to the south, but you can see with the northeast wind, we would tend to be dealing with a lot of cloud cover on Monday. And probably kind of temperatures probably not that warm. Yeah, 30s basically. And with the wind off the water, I'm hoping it's not going to include sucky drizzle. Well, I'm going to hit the visibility and just see what it says. I'm hoping we don't see any. No, I don't see any of that, so we don't have to deal with that. But total snowfall, new snow. Let's go ahead and look at this and see what this says right through Monday. And you can see it gives Toms River an inch, and that would be from the second system mostly. But it's still not a whole lot. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. For the most part, we have fair weather and warmer weather. Sunday will have to be watched, and we'll have to see what happens. But I'm not sure if I'll do a video Sunday or Monday at this point. We'll have to see what happens. But that does wrap up this video. Have a good night, and let's get to melting some of this stuff.